Hi, and welcome to part 6 of the Gundam overview. This one will deal with Gundam 00, the most recent of the Gundam series. Um, Personally, I actually didn't know how this would turn out originally. After seeing like Seed and Seed Destiny getting practically, like, it brought the series back from its slump, but it killed off most of its original fans, which were, some of them are deeply upset like myself. I didn't really like the series a lot, but once again, it did revive it, so I have to give some credit. But nobody really knew what Double O would be bringing to the party when we found out that it was going to take place in the AD timeline. But it was pulled off brilliantly, and I was entertained by it. I actually liked that series, despite being, like, partial to the older ones. You could call that a bias if you wish, but once again, it depends. Anyway, Double O takes place in the 80 timeline. At this point in our history, or at least our fictional history, we build giant elevators that go up into space. Space elevators, of course, that also allow us to gather solar energy and power all of our technology with an infinite amount of energy. Unlimited. And with this power, we basically advance all of our technology, our lives are made better, poverty is far less in the cities than it used to be. However, this also cut our dependency on oil, unless the Middle East and certain countries that used to be providing oil, dirt poor, like always in strife, and the crime rates increased there, so basically it was a win-lose situation for certain people. However, these elevators also run the risk of being captured by other nations who wanted more power. They wanted more power and they wanted more territory, so they start to war over these elevators. And in the process, they ended up destroying a lot of innocent lives. And suddenly, out of nowhere, this new group called Celestial Being appears, and they're headed by 4 Gundam Meisters, who pilot individual Gundams with different strengths. And over the course of the series, they will decimate, fall, and then rise again to decimate the Earth forces, and eventually restore some order to the Earth and stop the fighting. Well, not completely, but they definitely reduce the fighting between the different nations. And actually, at the end, I was definitely pleased that they're still fighting at the end of the series. For the most part, it was a really good storyline. They had definitely unique characters, despite like, you know that it's been copied. If you've ever watched Wing, you know that the concept has been copied. But the characters' personalities were so unique to their own. I mean, even Setsuna, at first you think that he's a carbon copy of Hiroyui, but he's not really. Because, once again, Hiro is, all about the mission, Setsuna, he's a little bit different. He's more about revenge. Even though he has the same kind of brooding quality, it's mostly about getting revenge on those who cause war, and to prevent it. And he does become a lot more emotional over the course of the show, a lot like Hiro does as well. Then there's the Lakan Stratos, who plays the duo character a little bit. He's the wacky guy that everyone likes. He's not that serious. He is serious on occasion, but not always. He's also the most, he's actually the most mature out of the bunch, despite not having the calm attitude. I actually like him the most. Then there's Tieria Arde, who is the mysterious brooding type. I would call him like the equivalent of Chang Wu Fei, rather. Or Troa. You don't really know a lot about him. Yeah, I'd say Troa. You don't know a lot about him, but you still like him for who he is. He's definitely got a horrible attitude in the first part. He doesn't really even consider his allies friends until, like, Lakan dies, where his attitude completely changed. And oh crap, I should have put spoiler alert. Anyway, and then there's Alleluia Haptism, who plays the I'd say split personality type of character. He's a bit in between, I wouldn't say duo, I'd say a little bit of Catra and a little bit of psychopath. Okay. He has the split personality, of course, if you haven't already known. But once again, this is just an overview. I'm not really inclined to tell everything. But once again, the characters' personalities developed really well over the course of the series. I wouldn't say it's overly stereotypical, but then again, I'm not that judgmental about that kind of thing. They definitely brought in some good technology too with the GN particles and their thruster system that eliminated verniers, so you could do more with the design concepts on the mobile suits. Because once you eliminate vernier thrusters, pretty much you can put different stuff on like the shoulders where they used to be, or on the feet where like they would usually have vernier thrusters around the back sides of the legs where we would usually say the calves. But it definitely brought a new aspect that I quite enjoyed. Once again, whenever I see the new technologies, generally it's either a make it or break it thing, but I'm always delighted to see something new, and that definitely brought something new to the table, rather than being nuclear fission, kind of hammering it in the same concept every single time, which it kind of was up until that point. Anyway, I'm just going to cut this video short, and the next one shall be Gundam Universes, introducing that and seeing if I can get any more publicity. Not really, but